Hi guys, so I'm going to go through the Excel assignment with you in the Unit 3 financial segment. For the homework for Unit 3, Homework 3, you have an Excel assignment to do, and I'm going to help talk you through the first part of each page. So the very first problem, you want to invest $4,000 into an account that offers 2.8% APR compounded monthly. And we're going to leave it for a total of 30 years. Well, 30 years is the same as, if you look in here, 12 times 30. There's 30 years, 12 months a year is a total of 360 months. And we have our chart already set up for us. So we're going to fill in the chart, and Excel is going to do all the work for us. So you're going to, at the beginning of the period of time that you invest your money, you don't have any money in there. So there's no interest. So this is month 0, when you're first going in. And the amount that you invest is the $4,000. Before we go any further with this, I put some notes over here. It says interest each month. That 2.8% is for the year. So the bank will give you a portion of that 2.8%. They'll take the 2.8% and divide it by 12 for the 12 months. So every month, the bank will take your APR and divide it by 12 if you are compounding monthly. So the 2.8% would be 0.028 divided by 12. Then, to get the amount of interest earned, the interest would be multiplied by the amount currently in the bank. And then at the end of the month, it would be the amount in the account plus the interest. So I put the directions over here, the total at the end of the month using the tables. Initially, you start with 0, 0, 0, and 4,000 like we did. Then the interest is going to be the APR divided by 12 times the starting amount. And then the ending amount is going to be the beginning amount plus your interest. So at the end of month 1, the beginning amount was your 4,000 that you invested. The interest added is your APR. So in this case, it's going to be 0.028 divided by 12. That's going to get multiplied by the amount of money in the account. So I'm just going to reference the cell before it, the 4,000, and hit enter. And I think I left the equal sign off. I did. So I do need to put the equal sign in the front, multiplied by the $4,000, hit enter. So we make about $9.33 interest in the first month. The end of the month will equal the 4,000 plus the interest for that month. So let's look at this again. The beginning of the next month is the ending balance. So this equals the ending balance from the previous month. You're going to earn interest on the money that's in there. So it's the money plus the interest from the previous month. So you start with your APR 0.028 divide by 12, and that's going to get multiplied by the amount currently in the account. And I think I left the equal sign off again. And then the last part of this month is going to equal the amount that was in the account plus the amount of interest that particular month, and enter. And once you've done this a few times, Excel will recognize that there's a pattern. It will recognize that the first column is always equal to the last column from the previous month. It'll recognize that the interest is always the interest rate 0.028 divided by 12 times, and I think I have to put that equal sign in here again, times the amount of money currently in the account, and the final part of this month will equal the beginning amount for the month plus the interest earned. And then you can tell Excel to bring this down. It will recognize the pattern. So I go to this little bottom right-hand corner, the cursor will change and go all the way down to the bottom of the 360 months. And the reason why we're getting all these zeros is that it's showing 0 currently at the end of the previous month. But when we fill in the rest of this, it will pick up the pieces. So the same with the interest. We're going to pull the interest all the way down. Takes a little bit of time to get to the bottom of 360 months. And the beginning will have the interest. The bottom is showing zeros because we do not have the ending balance shown. One more time, pick up the end of month balance. It'll pick up the pattern for the end of month balance and just drag it all the way down to 360 months. So the longest part is dragging it down. Okay, so notice how the table fills in quite quickly once you've hit the final one. So any place along the way, you'll see initially you get very small amounts of interest, $14, $15, and as you go further on into the loan, the amount of interest you're earning increases because the interest is on the money in there plus the interest earned from the previous months. So let's go to the bottom here. It says the amount we initially invested. Well, in this case, we invested 4,000. Gotta get in the right box. We invested $4,000, and after the end of 30 years, that $4,000 is this amount at the bottom. So that $4,000 became $9,256.41. If I want to know how much interest I earned on that account, put the cursor in the interest box, hit equal the ending amount minus the starting amount, and that will tell me that I earned $5,256.41. So this first example is a lump sum investment. You invest some amount of money, you put it into the account, and you just let it sit. The next thing is an annuity. An annuity is also a savings account, and I'm going to move my picture over. An annuity is also in a savings account, but with an annuity, you put money into the account every single month, and it's usually a fixed amount. It's usually like if you have a 401 or a 403, it's a certain amount that comes out of your paycheck, and it goes directly into your annuity account. So in this case, the annuity account is going to start with $320. And at this particular bank, we're going to earn 2.3% interest. So again, the bank will divide the APR, annual percentage rate, by 12 for each month. You only get a little portion of the money each month. So it's going to be the amount of money in the account plus that interest, and that interest is a portion, a percentage of what's currently in there. So let's go through this example. So initially, we don't have any money in here, so we just fill in the zeros. And the very first amount of money going into the account is the $320. So this is the $320 that we're starting with. The beginning balance of the next month is going to equal the ending amount of the previous month. The interest applied here is going to be the interest rate times the current amount. So in this case, it's 2.3%. So 0.023 divided by 12. And for whatever reason, I keep leaving the equal sign off today. Probably because this is the second time I'm trying to do this. Equals 0.23 divided by 12 multiplied by the amount at the beginning of the month. Now, we only earned 61 cents. We are going to put another $320 in this account. So we're going to take the 320 plus the interest plus another monthly payment of 320 into our savings account. So this is going to equal the beginning balance plus the interest earned plus another $320. Okay, so we have the second row. The next row, the next month, is going to start off equals the previous, oops, let me get it in the right spot. It'd help if I get this in the right cell. Equals the previous month. Enter. The interest earned is going to equal our annual percentage rate, 0.023 divided by 12 times the beginning amount of money in the account. And now again, to get the ending amount, it's going to equal the beginning amount plus the interest earned plus another $320 that we're putting into the account. And once you have a couple of rows filled in, Excel will recognize that there is a pattern, a relationship from one column to the next, from one row to the next. So I can click in here, find the corner, and go all the way down to 360 months, because again, this was a 30-year annuity. If I read the question all the way to you, we would have seen that. It said 30 years up here, so I'm using the 360. The interest, we went from 61 cents the first month, $1.23, and this is going to increase each month. Get the bottom right-hand corner and pull it all the way down to 360 months. Does the same thing with the zeros because we don't have the ending balance in yet. Now we go into here. Hopefully Excel picks up the pattern from here. Click in, and we pull this down the whole 360 months. So Excel does all of this work for you. It's really nice for this particular reason. So what did we put in? How much money did we really put in? Well, we put in $320 every single month for the 360 months. So the amount we invested equals the $320 a month times the 360 months that we added money into the account. At the end of the 30 years, this account is equal to the ending balance, the $165,687.54. Now, if I want to find out how much interest I earned on this account, the interest is going to be the final amount minus all of the money that I invested over the 30 years, which would be the $115,200. So on this investment, I made $50,487.54 in interest. Now, there's one other thing that I'd like to go through with you. Sometimes you'll take out a large loan, and it could be for to buy a house or to buy a car. So in the case that I'm going to show you here, this is like taking out a mortgage. $285,000 would be the price possibly of a house. And the bank is saying, okay, you can borrow this money at an annual percentage rate of 4.6. So for the loans, you have to calculate your monthly payment. It's great that Excel does this already for us. We can figure out our monthly payment because Excel has a function built in called PMT. So you put in equal PMT, you enter your APR as a decimal divided by 12 because you pay a monthly payment. You put in the total number of payments for the life of the loan, and then you put in the original loan amount. And you're going to get a red value because it's negative. So I wrote out here on the right side exactly what we're going to put in. Our payment is going to equal, so we're going to put in equal, and I start typing PMT, and I will see payment come up. Open it up, and the first thing I'm going to put in is the interest rate, 0.046 divided by 12. Now I'm going to put a comma in. And if you notice across the bottom, it's going to tell you the pieces that go next. The very next thing is the total number of payments. The number of payments altogether are 360 payments. And then the last thing to go in is the original loan amount. The original loan amount is going to be $285,500. 285,000. 285,123. And the monthly payment is never going to change. The monthly payment is going to be the same, whether it's the first month, the 20th month, 240th, or 360th. So I'm going to grab this and go all the way down to 360 and let it go. So our monthly payment stays exactly the same. The next part is, of this money you pay, a piece of this money is going to pay down the original loan. It's called the principal. You're paying on the principal. And a piece of that monthly payment goes towards your interest. Initially, on your loans, the amount of money paying off the principal is going to be very, very small. The bank is going to get its interest back from you first. So if I continue looking at the notes I put on the side, the amount towards your principal, again, Excel has a function for us. It's PPMT. It's the principal payment amount. So you're going to put the function in, put the rate divided by 12. We have to reference the month that we're in. So I'll show you how to do that in a second. And then again, the total number of months of the loan and the total amount of the loan. So I'm going to start in here with the equal sign. And now it's the PPMT. And I'm going to open up the parentheses. First thing is always the interest rate, 0.046, divide by 12, and then it says put a comma. The very next part, if I follow this out, is what month are we in? So I need to reference month 1. So I go back to month 1, hit that cell. In this case, it's A4, put a comma. The very next thing is how many payments are in this loan. This loan has 360 payments. So 360, and again, the full amount of the loan, the $285,000, enter. So as you can see, of this $1,461, only $368.54 is going toward bringing down the principal on this account. How much of it goes towards the interest? Well, we're going to start with the equal. We're paying this amount every single month. If I take off the part going towards principal, so I'm going to do subtraction, the amount towards principal, this is the interest. So notice it was mostly interest. How do I find out the new balance? The original amount of this loan was $285,000. Now, if I were to subtract the red, which is already negative, a negative, I need a positive. So I want this 285 to be able to decrease. So this is a little tricky, but I have to hit plus the amount in this box, hit enter. And you know it's $284,631.43. That is the original loan amount minus the principal. And just like we did before, I could grab the corner of this, go all the way down to the 360 months, and stop there. Now at the end, see how much of this $1,461 is principal? So near the end, you're really paying a lot off in principal and very little off in interest. So to get the interest for every single month, Excel will recognize the pattern or the formula we put in, drag it all the way down to 360 months, and let it go. So of that very last payment, only $5.58 went towards interest. And then the very last part is how much is remaining each month. So there is a formula up here. Grab the lower right-hand corner, bring it all the way down to the bottom, and hopefully there is definitely a mistake here. So let's hit go back and see what happened. So this is going to equal the previous amount minus, nope, it's got to be plus because a negative makes it a positive, this amount, enter. So it did go down. Let's see if it picks up the pattern now. There it is. So when I make that very last payment, I shouldn't owe the bank any more money, and it does zero out. So the total amount that I paid in this loan is the number of monthly payments, which was 360, times the amount that I paid every month. So this last amount, the total amount I paid, is equal to the payment amount that I made, the $1,461. $61.04 times the 360 months. I made that payment every month. So the initial loan was $285,000. So how much of this money was interest? I hit the final amount paid minus the initial amount, the $285,000, enter. So notice the amount of interest that was paid on this loan, $240,000. The interest is pretty close to the initial price of this loan. So what you have to do now is take this information, go back and complete the even number problems. Do problems 2, 4, and 6, but I do want to see all 6 problems done. There are 3 sheets, 2 problems per page, and at the end, I should see 6 tables completed. I hope you find this very helpful and of interest to you. Bye. Take care now.